All right, folks, this one's pretty cool. I'm going to lay out a little bit of background for you in case you're not aware of this particular day that I'm going to talk about, because this newspaper article is pretty earth-shattering with respect to biblical archaeology. I almost said biblio. Biblical archaeology. Now, this is particularly of great interest to me because this news article came out and it was actually revealed on Tisha B'Av. Now, if you don't know what that day is, it was a day that was observed last week by the Jews in Israel and actually all over the world that, in essence, brought a time of reflection and commemoration. It's not a good day to point out the 9th of Av, which, of course, was the day in different years where both temples were actually destroyed. It was the day where Solomon's temple, or David's temple as we call it, was destroyed. It was also the day where Herod's temple was actually destroyed. Now, speaking of that, that would have been the 9th of Av, 70 AD, when, of course, the temple was destroyed by Titus. So I am looking at an article right now. This is pretty amazing. And this, of course, says the title of this article, and this is a biblical archaeology article that is found in allisrael.com. And they say this is the title. It says, Roman military equipment used in battles that led to destruction of Second Temple revealed on Tisha B'Av. So again, this would have been on Sunday when this would have been revealed. And it says this is pretty amazing. It says, findings announced on Sunday revealed the might of the Roman army and stockpile of ballistic stones in Jerusalem. Now, this is what it says. It says, the Israel Antiquities Authority on Sunday presented the results of a new research project about the power of the Roman army in the battles that led to the destruction of the temple, on the tragedies in Jewish history that is mourned on Tisha B'Av on the Jewish calendar. Now, let me just read this to you. I'm going to skip down and read to you a couple of quotes. And it says this. This is, of course, one of the researchers for the Israeli Antiquities Authority that says the fast of the 9th of Av commemorates the day of the destruction of the Second Temple, and the day of that destruction is the 9th of Av, and goes on talking about this. And he goes on to say the temple was destroyed in 70 AD after a 4-month siege and an intensive battle led by the Roman general Titus in order to conquer the city and suppress the revolt initiated by the Jews years earlier. And this is what they continue to say. I'm going to scroll down because what this guy says about these things is pretty amazing. They discovered these stones that were massive and these catapults that were capable of throwing these things 400 meters, which would explain how they would have destroyed the temple when they did this, right? This is a pretty amazing thing. Mind you, there's a lot of people that said this wasn't possible and Titus could not have done it this way. And now we are finding archaeological evidence that, of course, the Bible is true as usual, right? It's pretty amazing. Let me read to you what it says here. It says, the physical evidence of the huge resources employed by the Roman army in Jerusalem reflects the extremely harsh battles that eventually led to the destruction of the Second Temple. He goes on to say, notwithstanding internal factions and impossible odds, a small group of Jewish defenders withheld the Romans for a few months until the tragic destruction of the city. The use of up-to-date research methods reveal more and more on the fascinating history of Jerusalem. Now, why am I bringing all this up? This is really amazing because, yes, we see archaeological evidence that supports what the Bible says is true. And I want to remind everybody of something else the Bible says about Israel, and that is this: Israel will not be defeated. God will stand with Israel. So it's a good idea for us to bet with Israel instead of against Israel, because betting against Israel is betting against God. The Bible never gets it wrong, and this is a great example of that. And folks, we need to remember to pray for the nation of Israel and to support the nation, because that's what God calls us to do. Great stuff, guys. It's really important, really interesting stuff. We talked about it on Countdown to Eternity last week. Really, really great stuff. So there it is, you guys. God is always right. We're wrong. God bless you.